everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Julie. I am a mom to 5 young children. Today's video topic is not one that I have been planning for a long time to do. This has just been in the making for the last couple of days. I thought I should do a video on this topic. So I wrote down a bunch of notes on my phone for what I'm going to discuss today, and that is just having a productive day and just how I schedule my days. So I didn't really realize till recently, I've always been a fairly organized, fairly going by routine person, and so as my kids came along, they were always on a not strict routine, but like a loose routine. Like we always knew this is what bedtime is, nap time always happens at this time, this is when lunch is, these are the hours where we go out, etc., etc. And so I've always kind of had this routine, but I didn't really realize till recently I do somewhat of a block scheduling for myself as a homeschooling busy mom with so much on my plate. And so today I want to kind of share with you what my block schedule looks like. Routines are essential for me. I like to know what's coming up next in my day. My kids really thrive with a routine as well. I like to know what's coming up. I like to know at what point I can get to a certain task. So rather than having a task I know that needs to get done during the day, rather than thinking at some point today, hopefully I'll get to it, I know in what block of time I should have a chance to get to that task. So basically this is how my schedule works, and I know it'll be different for everybody and you'll probably not want to follow my routine, although I think a lot of other homeschool moms can probably relate to how my schedule works. So my first block of time is from 6 to 7, or as early as I can get up until 7. So sometimes that's like 6:45 till 7. On a really good day, it's from 6 to 7. And in that chunk of time, that is when I get up. The first thing I do is spend some time reading the Bible. And then I'll usually like check my social media stuff, and then I get up and get right into working out. So I have my workout clothes always laid out from the night before. I quickly put those on, go downstairs, pour myself some water, and then I get into my workout. My typical workouts right now are through Fitness Blender here on YouTube. They have a huge variety of workouts. No, this video is in no collaboration or sponsorship with them, but they do have my favorite workouts. So I do a workout, usually it's between 20 and 30 minutes. When my workout is complete, I go run and have a shower. Now my morning showers are like 20 seconds. I don't wash my hair, shave, anything like that for my morning showers. After my workout, it's like just hop in the shower, 20-minute rinse off, and then get into my clothes for the day. That is when my next block of time begins. And so my next block of time is from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. And this is a pretty packed 2 hours. So my kids know that at 7 o'clock, that is when they're allowed to get out of their bedrooms. They usually wake up around that time as well, but if they're up before that, they know that 7 o'clock is when they can leave their rooms, and my toddler often wakes up around this time too. So they get up, they need to get dressed, and they need to have done their Bible devotions, and they need to have their beds made before they get to have breakfast. So I'm downstairs making breakfast, they're all doing their stuff upstairs, and no, this is not like the smoothest thing. It's definitely like, hey, come on, get dressed, it's time for breakfast, come on down. One of my kids sets the table. Breakfast is on the table, we eat. Then after breakfast, my little ones, my bigger little ones, have chores to do, cleaning up from breakfast. And so there's a lot of trust for me to say, clean up the kitchen while I go upstairs. And yes, again, there needs to be reminders, are you doing your chores? But they each have a chore to do after breakfast. And at this time, I take my toddler, get him washed up, I get him dressed, I get myself kind of put together for the day. So I like to do my hair first thing in the morning and get makeup on and just kind of feel put together and ready for my day. I get my teeth brushed, I always get coffee going, I get my daughter's hair done, I get all the kids to go upstairs and get their teeth brushed. It's not the most peaceful time of the day, that's for sure, because there's a lot of come on, get this done, get ready, make sure your chores are done. I want everybody to be kind of presentable and the house in order before we start school. So while the kids are doing their last minute like teeth brushing and stuff, I'm usually running back down to the kitchen, starting the coffee, giving the table a final wipe down, kind of giving the sink and counters a wipe down as well, because my kids wash and dry the dishes and they do very well at it, but I usually need to to kind of just do a quick wipe down, tidy up after they're finished. My next chunk of time is from 9 until noon. So at 9 o'clock is when we like to be starting school. It doesn't always happen. It definitely can be 9:15, 9:30, even 9:45 if it's a bad day. But for the most part at 9 o'clock, we're ready to start school. So this whole block of time from 9 to 12 mostly consists of school time. We start the day off with Bible time, and then the kids do kind of their separate subjects. And so for my time while they are doing school, I am obviously very present and helping them out where it's needed. I will also work on my planner, so I have my happy planner I use and some other notebooks I'm working through, and I might go on my phone and take like an Insta story, or I might text somebody, but for the most part this time is not time where I'm on my phone at all. I might get up and do a little bit of lunch prep, maybe just taking a loaf of bread out from the freezer. I also might get started if I have a slow cooker meal for dinner. I might work on that as the kids are doing their book work, but for the most part I am right there helping them where needed. Through this 9 to 12 block, my kids also have a little break, usually a 15 or 20 minute break from school, where they often will go outside and play, or they'll just have free time. And in that 15 or 20 minute span, I will call and make appointments if I need to just make any other phone calls or write any emails out, do some budget planning, or I'll get out my computer and maybe make a thumbnail for a video during this little time that the kids have their school break. Is usually also when I answer any comments on my video. So if I had a video go out that day, I will go on my phone and answer any comments. I'll also often do lunch prep, so I'll try to really just get lunch ready at this time, at least like almost ready. So if we're having peanut butter and jam sandwiches, I'll have peanut butter and jam on the counter and the bread out ready to go. Or if we're having soup, let's say, I'll have water sitting in the pot ready to go, the soup packets beside the pot. Like lunch is like basically ready to be made, if that makes sense. The kids of course finish their playtime, and then we finish up morning school and I get lunch on the table. My next block of time is from 12 until 1:30, and that of course starts with lunch. Again, after lunch, each of my kids has like a table chore, so whether it's clearing and wiping the table or sweeping the floor or washing the dishes, we all kind of work together to get everything cleaned up from lunch. There's usually a little bit of school from the morning to finish up, so whether it's grammar, or one or two of my kids usually have to practice the piano in this block of time. This is also always where our read aloud time is. So we do sit down and do, I would love to do 30 or 45 minutes, and on a good day we do, but it's often like 20 minutes. I'll read aloud to all the kids, and then Simeon also does his reading to me. He's in grade 1, and so he'll read to me, and then the little ones all go down for rest time. So my three youngest, my youngest naps, the other two who are 6 and 4 just go down for a quiet time. And that's kind of when my busy time is over and I get to have some quiet time. So my next block of time is from 1:30 to 3, and during that time my two oldest do sit down and have some reading time, and then they go for their own like quiet time as well. And so this hour and a half is really just my time to do a lot of work. So I will either film a video or I will edit a video. I will do a lot of my YouTube stuff is done during this time. I love to have time to read. That doesn't always happen, but if it does, it's probably in this block of time. I'm also checking emails, emailing people back when I need to, writing texts. I might fold laundry while I watch a YouTube video, or maybe just sit and do nothing and watch a YouTube video. I can choose what I want to do during this hour and a half, and I pretty much know that I have this hour and a half to dedicate to wherever I think needs the priority that day. Then at 3 o'clock starts my next block of time. My kids are getting up from their rests, and so from 3 to 5:30 is kind of this, not always my favorite time. It's kind of just this like unknown land, I guess. Like most parts of the day it's like, hey, we're doing school right now, and during this part of time it's like, some days we go out, some days we have gymnastics, or maybe I'll go run out and get some groceries. But for the most part, if it's an at-home day, 3 o'clock is snack time, so everybody's getting up from naps, having a snack, and then usually they go outside and play, or they'll have free time. For myself, I do a lot of my household chores during this time, so I am vacuuming the floor, dusting, doing just a quick pickup around the house. Definitely laundry is often done during this time. I usually just fold everybody's laundry, leave it out on the table, and then I call the kids to come, and they each come and pick up their pile of clothes and bring it to their rooms and put them away. If I didn't get a workout done in the morning, I will try to get a workout done during this chunk of time as well. And so if I do want to get a workout in, I will do that either while my kids are outside, or I might turn on a show for the kids to watch, and then I'll work out at that time. And then of course, dinner prep. So it's different every day. Sometimes I have a slow cooker meal that's been cooking all day, and dinner prep is super easy. Other days I do a whole dinner prep during this time, and 5:30 is usually about the time where we eat. So my husband gets home, and this starts our next chunk of the day, our next block, and that is from 5:30 till 8. So this basically goes from supper time until it's bedtime. So this of course consists of eating dinner and again getting all cleaned up from dinner. And so my kids again each have a chore around the dinner hour, whether it's setting the table or helping clean up from supper. We all work together and get all cleaned up from supper. And usually at this time, the kids get into pajamas. So whatever time it is when we're done dinner, just go ahead, go upstairs, get into pajamas. 2 or 3 nights a week will be bath night. If it's not bath night, the kids just have free time at this point. As it's getting close to this 7 o'clock hour, we do a quick pickup on the main floor. Sometimes I'll take the kids with me because they'll just leave random things like stuff by the back door, stuff in the living room, stuff on the kitchen table, just little things left everywhere. So I'll get them to come with me and say, okay, pick up what's yours in this room, pick up what's yours. And we kind of do like a cleanup on our way upstairs to bed. So that's around 7 o'clock. We usually head upstairs. If we've made really good time, I'll tell the kids, brush your teeth, and then we can watch a Dude Perfect video. That is one thing they love doing before bed. And so probably once or twice a week we'll do that. So they get their teeth brushed, they're already in pajamas. We may sit down and watch something, or else we'll just get straight into devotions. And we do a Bible story, we sing, we pray. Basically at that point, the 2 little ones for sure go to bed, and then we kind of let the older 3 stay up in increments of time. So usually we'll get the little ones down at maybe 7:30, and then we'll let our 6-year-old stay up 10 more minutes, our 8-year-old stay up 10 more minutes, and then our 9-year-old stay up 10 more minutes. So they're going to bed at about 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock is really where this block of time ends. So once we've gotten the 2 littlest ones to bed, this half hour where the 3 bigger ones are still up, my husband and I are usually running around like starting laundry. So here where we live in Ontario, we have like different prices depending on when you use electricity, and the cheapest is from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. So basically 7 p.m. every night I start a load of laundry. This is the time where I might get in the shower if it is a day where I want to get my hair all washed and just a full shower. I will also lay my clothes out for the next day, and so I like to lay out my workout clothes so that first thing in the morning I can just easily grab those and I have no excuses to not work out. And I'll also figure out what's going on the next day and choose what I want to wear for clothes as well. I'll also go to the freezer and grab out what meat I need for the next day and just stick that in the fridge so it's all ready to get out the next day. At this point, as long as I'm not planning to go out, I also like to get into pajamas, wash my face, just be all ready to relax and be ready for bed. Of course, through this all, we're saying goodnight to each of the kids as they are going to bed. Each of the older ones, when they're done their 10 minutes and they've done their reading, they come say goodnight to us. And anyway, so that's 8 o'clock, and that's pretty much kids are in bed. It's just time for my husband and I to relax. Usually at 8 o'clock. So this block is gonna be 8 till, I'm gonna say 10:30 because that's a good time for me to go to sleep. It doesn't always happen, but we'll put this block as 8 to 10:30. So at 8 o'clock, I usually have some quick pickup to do at the end of the night. So a quick wipe off of the counter, prepping my husband's lunch for the next day, or just wiping off the table, maybe sweeping the floor. Just a really quick pickup. I try to do as little as possible because I wanna just go sit and relax. So once we've done that last minute pickup, we'll usually sit down, and I like to, if I haven't read earlier in the day, I like to read for maybe 15 minutes just to get some of that in. I have a hard time finding time to read, but I do enjoy doing it. My husband and I will often just sit and talk for a little bit, just relax, and then usually we'll grab a snack, watch a show, and then that's really the end of our night. Then brush our teeth, of course, and go to bed. And sometimes we'll talk a bit in bed, or he'll be ready for sleep after a long day and I'll be on my phone. But like I said, I do like to be in bed around 10:30. So that's kind of my goal in order for me to be able to wake up between 6 or 6:30. So that's kind of how a day looks for me as a homeschooling mom of 5. I do kind of work with those blocks, and for school, for instance, if let's say during that morning, like 9 to 12, if we didn't get to history during that time, we don't get to it. I don't think, okay, well, we'll do it later, maybe this evening or maybe later this afternoon. I really do work with these time blocks, and like if we didn't get it done, all right, tomorrow we'll do it. Piano is about the only thing that I say we're doing it every day, and so you guys can practice later on in the day if we didn't get it done, you know, earlier on in the day. But for the most part, I try to stick to those blocks of time, and it really helps me in planning out my day. So let me know if you do anything similar to this, and I'm gonna go because this video's been long. Thanks for watching. Bye.